Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to another ink singles profile. Today we're doing a Birmingham ink. It's Luna Park Marmalade and it's really pretty. It's kind of camera shy, so we're going to have a variety of ways of looking at it, but this really surprised me. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It's kind of an orange yellow, and let's dive right in here. And big thank you to pen friend Sue for sending the sample. Okay, let's get it in the bath test. I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen. Woo, look at that. See that highlighter yellow coming out? That's not a trick. That's exactly what this ink does when it gets gets with the water. It's amazing. Wait till you see the visual journal today. But we'll set this aside and let it go for it there. We'll get in our Rhodia Gold Book ink journal. Here we are. Okay. So right now you're seeing what I'm seeing better than a minute ago when we were looking at this. I'm not sure I know I've got a variety of lighting. I've mostly got natural light today. I'm liking this better than before, so this is much more accurate. Okay. One issue I wanted to talk about right away was I went to the Birmingham website and they had it in the 30 ml bottle for $5.99. Sometimes I'll get a really awesome Birmingham ink sample and then I can't see any availability and I hold off on doing review unless it's still listed somewhere there, because I know he'll take your emails. You know, he'll keep a wish or a list. Notification list is what I'm trying to say. But I did notice this was in stock. Today is July 5th, 2019. So, boy, it's really pretty. It's somewhere between orange and yellow, which we're going to be able to see. Here it is in the broad nib and in the Lamy fine nib. And it held up really good in that fine nib. It didn't get sketchy to my eye. I just really like it. It makes me think of the 60s. It's kind of got an interesting vibe going to it. Okay, and here's the chromatography. Let me hold that right up. You see how it ends up looking like highlighter ink, but it's still got that lighter kind of brown in there. But it really took off like crazy. So we've got a variety of places to look at this ink. So let me keep going here. Oh, this was a quick look back on the Lamy Crystal Amazonite ink, and I think you pretty much saw that during that profile, but I like to kind of flash back on them sometimes. That did stay quite good readable in a gray, but it was that nice teal ink, so you don't have any more of the color left. But okay, on to this one. Here we go. This is the little Morriman spiral notebook from days ago. And this really shows off the ink well. Up here at the top, it looks a little more accurate. Yeah, the camera's lightening up the ink a little. This has such a 60s kind of a vibe to it. But here it is, Luna Park Marmalade. Isn't that a neat name? In the broad nib and in the fine nib. Nice and smooth. And it didn't go through that, so that was nice. Okay. And then on the CVS Caliber notebook, 4x6. I'm so glad I'm not going to run out of this. I purchased 2 more. Here it is. Showing itself nicely on here too, I think. The swatched in, painted on one. And the broad nib and the Lamy fine nib. Still held up good on this, and it didn't feel dry, so that's nice. It did go through on the painted portion only, not on the written part. Okay, and now we're starting to get to the papers where I kind of liked it the best. I really liked it on the Leuchtturm paper. It was really gliding and smooth on this paper and on the Tomoe River paper. So there it is in the broad nib and in the Lamy fine nib. And I wrote, this ink likes Leuchtturm paper. And there's no bleed through except for a tiny, tiny bit where it was painted on. So that was nice. It's pretty straightforward. I don't really see shading. Although at times I could see just a little bit of variation. And that's nice. But it's just a really pretty ink. Okay, on to Live Notes by Pen Gallery. This is the little like A5 insert dot grid. Here we go. Well, there goes the sun. See, I'm having a variety of light, and that's going to make things interesting. But here we are. I thought it looked really good on here, and it certainly flowed really well onto this paper. Broad nib and fine nib. And let's flip back, because I think it might have, yeah, it went through just a little bit onto the back of that, where I painted it on quite heavily as a swatch. So, not bad though. No other bleed through. Okay, I'm going to keep it handy, because now we're going on to 52 gram Tomoe River paper. And isn't that pretty? It just really went on there nice. You know, I start seeing the orange come out sometimes, and other times I see the yellow. It went through a little, the painted part. That's pretty typical though. Oh, I didn't write with a fine nib, for heaven's sake. Now, I'm really not in that much of a hurry. I definitely was taking my time yesterday, but that got overlooked. Let's see if we can put this behind there. We might as well do it right now. Okay. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I got lazy cats today. Got one of them fast asleep on my chair. Okay, and this is the fine Lamy nib. Okay, ooh, that's still drying. Yeah. So, just really nice. It's a smooth writing experience. The ink is flowy, and I just really think it's pretty. It surprised me. I thought, I don't know how I'm going to like this color family, but I wanted to explore it because I have several yellow inks. And this one fell in the middle between yellow and orange, and I was so intrigued by it. So that's how I happened to choose this ink to be next. Okay, so next on the paper samples, I skipped right over this. I wanted to compare the two just a little bit here. I just wanted to hold this up because it does appear darker on the white 52 gram Tomoe River paper, just a little darker. And that's, you know, that's interesting, and that has to do, I think, with the paper color. Here we are on the ivory, and it does appear different. I really prefer it on the white. It looks nice. You know, but I'm using this up, and this is a really nice one. The insert, I like the paper, and I also tend to write on cream colored Tomoe River paper quite a bit for letter writing. So that just gives you just a little bit of showing of how different it can look from paper to paper. Yeah, because we're getting over toward the orange a lot more with the white paper, so it's nice. Alrighty, now Clairefontaine 90 gram French rule paper. Here it is, broad nib and fine nib. I hope I didn't forget any more sample writings, and no bleed through. Just looked really nice, and it's real smooth. I didn't make any notations about it being too dry on this paper, so that was really good. And then Rhodia 80 gram dot pad. Here we go. Nice. Actually, I start to see a little variation there, which was really nice. It's not, I wouldn't even go so far as to call it shading, but it's pretty. Broad nib and fine nib. You know, I think that has to do with the eye. The eye is trying to look at that ink and say, is it orange? Is it yellow? But it's pretty. Okay, no bleed through. And then our last paper is Georgia Pacific 20-pound copy paper. We get feathering, but it's not terrible. It's, you know, you just have to be aware of it. And then it's much better in the fine nib. Quite a bit of bleed through with the broad nib, not as much with the fine nib, but it's still not terrible. I actually feel like you could write on both sides and not really worry. And then here's the way it bled through on the back. But again, Georgia Pacific 20-pound copy paper, that's asking a lot to put fountain pen ink on it. Okay, let's stop in on our water test. Oh my gosh, it looks like neon or something. Okay, that's what I expected. It's pretty much gone, and we'll take a look at that after it dries in the next one. But you could just barely see it, and that's kind of what I expected. But we'll see, given a few more minutes, what it does. Okay, time for the panel. This ought to be interesting. Okay. And I have a little ring of some more colors too, but I really wanted to show you these 9 on the panel. If I can somehow do it. Here we go. Okay, so right in the middle is today's ink, Birmingham Luna Park Marmalade. And it's just amazing. Actually, what I wanted to do, I've got 2 notebooks. One yellow notebook and one orange notebook. In fact, I think this one, I've got another one that's even more, maybe more true to what I'm trying to show. This orange notebook and a yellow notebook. And see how our inks on the panel, you know, are that way too. We've got some yellow over here, and we've got some pretty orange here. And then we've got our ink of the day right in the middle, which is just a kind of a combination of both. And it really kind of reminded me of J. Arbonne Encre Classic Buttercup. It reminded me of that, but yet that's warmer, almost more orange. So then down here we've got Platinum Mixable Sunny Yellow. And that's a real close looker there, I think. But gosh, there's just a lot going on here. We've got the newcomer from Ink Flight 29, Sailor Apricot. That's clearly an orange and not really comparable, but there it is. And then over here we've got the opposite extremes. We've got Private Reserve Buttercup up on the right-hand top corner there, with the yellow that, a lot of yellow comes out of Birmingham Luna Park Marmalade. And then here's Blackstone Golden Wattle. These inks have been around. Pen friends have sent these samples, and for some reason I have just thought that I wouldn't like them, but that just proves you've got to get the ink in a nib in order to even have a clue whether you like it. Of course, that doesn't take a genius to say that, but just these swatches, even if they're beautiful or you aren't attracted to them, isn't enough to tell you. So here's the Birmingham Jane Grey Swiss Helm Daisy Lace. Now, some of these Birminghams, I just can't seem to find them in stock, at the right time. But that's something that I think does vary. And he's got a whole page where, trying to think of what it's called. I'll have to link you to it. I will link in the description box that you can go in and, I think it says production queue or something like that. And if you go in and click on it and put your email in for notifying me when it's available, that tells them what we want, or, if there's 20 people after this ink or whatever. So that's interesting. Okay, now Noodler's Apache Sunset is definitely very similar too. I don't know why I'm overlooking that. But I know that this Apache Sunset shades, so you've got that shading ability. But it does on the surface compare with it quite a bit. But you can see the shading even in just the water reaction there. So, and then Lamy Bronze, well, that's orange, compared to this one anyway, compared to today's ink. So this is fun. This is where I really get excited, is comparing the colors, trying to look at availability, trying to look at price. Now, 30 mils for $5.99 for today's ink. That's a really good bargain. I didn't actually calculate yet the price per mil. But if you take 5.99 divided by 30 equals, so that looks like almost 20 cents a mil. That's good. I mean, that's really good. We've been looking at some that were up there around 50 something cents. So, okay, let's look at the visual journal. Geez, I could sit here and talk all day about one aspect of the ink. Okay, here it is, and I mean, don't adjust your set. It looks like highlighter ink around the edges here. And then we can go almost to a light brown or a wheat color. So it was very amazing what this did. I'm not sure, I'd put it, hang it on my wall or anything, but excuse me, I did get a little bit of interest here. And I was making kind of trees there. And it just was really fun to see how bright it comes out when it separates like that. Just amazing. And then over here, it just looks, yeah, like highlighter. The camera's probably making it a tad brighter, but not by all that much. So there we have it. Now, oh gosh, this is going to end up being bonus. I didn't announce this in the beginning, but what I really wanted to do is give you a little update on how I'm doing with my summer ink down. So I've got a whole page here in my trusty, here we go. Okay. I might even use this for that, because that way maybe it'll be a little more comfortable. Okay, so there's also a little bit of true confession going on here. Okay, I've been working really hard. I've been spending, you know, I really enjoy the down days where I get to work at my pen desk and stuff. So when I say work, it's really fun for me. But, you know, you all know I started with 451 ink samples. That comes from everywhere, from people sending them, from me ordering, from ink flights, from Birmingham Pen Parcel, from, you know, just, you know, viewers, pen friends, pen pals, you know, the whole 9 yards. So that was a big, overwhelming number. But what I did find was I was failing to clean out vials when they were almost gone, when they were just pretty much gone. And the other thing is I needed to move several of them over to my art area, which is a whole nother room. Well, you know, a little corner of the dining room, really, because, so anyway, I started with 451. I now I've written in pencil in all these little boxes so I could come back and redo it, because it's going to vary and it's going to change. So my shell boxes now, which I'm considering kind of private collection, or, you know, ones I want to retain, even though there may be only a mil left, or there may be 3 mils, but I've already reviewed them. 159 in that. And then I don't count my full bottle tray against my samples, because that's a permanent collection too. I've got a tray with 40, and that's how many full bottles I have. And I'm trying to keep it to that, but yeah, I'll see how good luck I have with that. Then I do have a baggie with 11 that are rare, cannot be, you know, easily obtained. So I'm in a dilemma about whether or not to review those. We'll see. I may, if there's enough interest, or if we get to where we've done some of the ones that are available. And then I have a tray of samples to give away. There's 25, and I'm still working on that little project. Then up for review, I have a total of 123. In other words, ones that have come in that have been, mostly that number includes, you know, ones that have been given to me or sent to me, but it also includes the 7 most recent ink flight ones. And then, but that brings my total to 282 that I'm not using these numbers yet. I'm still kind of thinking about that. I'm using what I have in my shell boxes and what I've got sorted and all completely ready for, you know, up for review. Okay, so I added, this is all new here, so really I'm not used to it yet, and I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I do want to keep track of how many inks I review in a month, because I am a little sporadic, and you guys know that. When I get in a creative streak, I just go. And you know, I'm getting a little more disciplined by doing my Sunday fun series and kind of getting those ready ahead and then scheduling for them for Sundays. But I did 9 ink profiles. And yeah, so I'm going to keep track of that. And I'm going to keep track of how many new samples come in and how many in a month I manage to empty or move, you know, get completely away from this organization, which helps the channel in terms of what we're going to review next. But I did a thing. Oh boy. I got to be honest, because that's something I just have to do. But I ordered the ink flight for July. You know, I got the email and I thought, I can't do this. I want it. And look at the good I've done here, you know. So I thought, well, okay, 7 coming in. That means 7 need to go out for sure, because I really want to keep this total under 300. My organization, my shell boxes and trays are just right. And, you know, if it goes lower than that, that's fine. You know, using up the 2 mil samples is the way to go. So I kind of, you know, wrote about that, how, yeah. Actually, I wrote, my summer ink down is going well. Cleanouts, consolidations, transfers to give tray, etc. helped Now I have 282 vials and need to keep it level by for every sample in, one goes out. Okay, yeah, that was my own writing there. Also, I'll make faster determinations after reviews as to where the remnant ink goes. My art ink bucket is full of very small remnants separate from my pen desk. I ordered the July ink flight. Oh boy, I'm hopeless when it comes to ink. It will be number 30 ink flight, but it's for my personal use and I don't need to do an unboxing. Okay, well that's a little bit TMI because I may, but I also would like to start holding off on that so that their unveiling would sync with mine. And you know, because I never really, nobody's ever complained, but when I think about it, that's kind of, you know, anyway, I just would miss it too much, but I only got the July one. I didn't yet resubscribe. Okay, so this is just full confessions here. But it's fun and it's good because I feel much more organized already. I feel like I'm being a better steward of the ink, and look at how I, you know, like found this one and decided, hey, I ignore this ink category too much, and there's probably some of you who like yellow or yellow-orange. So, there we have it. Oh boy, you know the whole score. Okay, so what did you think of today's ink? I love to hear about that, and I love to hear about anything in the same or similar categories that you guys are writing with or like. And, oh yeah, one more thing. I wanted to show you. This was another one of theirs, Birmingham Golden Gazette. I love this, but I have a bad feeling about whether or not that's going to be available. I need to contact him and see, Nick. I don't know. So then, you know, there were a few others that didn't, as you can tell, they just didn't quite go on this panel. Sunrise Key. And then, gee, there were others that could have gone on here. Kaveco Sunrise Orange. Diamine Sunset. Oh, this is a beautiful one. Darker, not really compatible with this one, but KWZ Standard Monarch Photo Plum exclusive. I have to do some research on that. Monteverde Motivational Orange. Okay, we're a long way from today's ink. Let's skip over all those oranges. Okay, and then this one did make the panel. Habanero almost made the panel, but you know, it was a choice. You know, we've looked at Habanero quite a bit, and we haven't looked so much at Bronze or Apricot, Sailor, and Lamy. And then, let's see. Afraid this review is going to be somewhat of a ramble. Here's the Private Reserve Buttercup. That made the panel. Platinum Mixable Sunny Yellow made the panel. And the Daisy Lace from Birmingham. So, there we have it. You could tell I had a really good ink day yesterday. And so this was just a fun exploration, and I wanted to share it with you. So let me know what you think. Sorry about going long here for this one. And I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.